Welcome to Soundscape Crusaders,
a music discovery podcast where we pair music with media.
Join co-hosts Nate and Levi on this journey
as we dive deep and examine one song an episode, discuss what we love about it,
and then pair it with something that emotionally and tonally coincides with the song. This is the start of like our horror themed month, since this is our first
our horror crusade. It's October.
Yeah.
Welcome to October.
Through the depths of evil, we strike fear into those that oppose us. Anyway, this month, October, we're taking a horror lean with all of our music. Doesn't have to necessarily be about or scary or anything of the sort, but you know, it could have lyrics about Edgar Allan Poe stuff for all we know. Just as long as it has a horror leaning in some way.
Yes. I don't know what more to add to that. That's a really apt description of it. I'm super excited. This will be fun.
Cool.
I guess I'm the one kicking off the month.
Yeah, I mean, the floor is yours.
So I think for this song, we just need to go into it.
Let's go right in.
I think I'll talk about this band, this trio. I'll talk about all them and the song and all that.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, open the link. Open the link. We're just gonna get right into it. The name of the song we're gonna be listening to today is called "Say the Name" by a hip hop trio named Clipping, off their 2020 record "Visions of Bodies Being Burned." So pretty horror-y, pretty horror-esque.
Yeah, that's yeah. I would take that imagery and put it on a movie cover. So.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
You zeroed out?
Yes.
All right. I'm curious to see what you're going to think of this song, because this song is it's different. It's very different.
It's a trip.
Yes. All right.
Let's go for it.
In 3, 2, 1.
Candlesticks in the dark, visions of bodies being burned. Candlesticks in the dark, visions of bodies being burned. Candlesticks in the dark, visions of bodies being burned. Candlesticks in the dark, visions of bodies being burned. Candlesticks in the dark, visions of bodies being burned. Candlesticks in the dark, visions of bodies being burned. Candlesticks in the dark, visions of bodies being burned. Candlesticks in the dark, visions of bodies being burned.
The hook gon' be what it is, the hands off. The retribution for what you took from the man. Got blood on the rust, God bless the red earth. The dead man walks the tongue bridge, a bridge, the time space, the boot, the concrete, the project undone, they juke it. Major look, you can't see.
Shit, that lasts like 45 seconds.
That outro.
Was unexpected.
Yeah.
Whoa.
There's a lyric video for that song that was put out by the band on YouTube, but it doesn't have that outro. And I was like, you need that.
Really?
You need that outro. So I had to find another version of it. Before I get into like who Clipping are, the kind of like the influences of the song and whatnot, what'd you think?
Well, so like at the very beginning, this is probably a song, if I initially heard it like on a playlist or something, I would go 30 seconds and skip it. Mm-hmm. Because it's not an easy listening.
Bless you.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. It's not an easy listening song, and like it's not smooth. It's like a coarse beat with more of a lyrical, approach to the rapping. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, the lyrics, you just keep scrolling, like, right? But as it went, like it's just like the score just kept going and going up. Like I was like, okay, like all right, this is pretty good. Like I'm glad I kept listening. Oh, this is really good, really good. Yeah, and then by the time you're to the outro, it's like, oh, okay, I want to listen to that again because that's a whole production.
You know the song "Closer" by 9 Inch Nails?
Yeah.
How the outro of that song is like really like boisterous as well. That's what it reminds me of. The outro of this song, really harkens to that, which I love. I love when like you have a song that's got a very dark subject matter culminate into this like insane instrumental outro. I think the outro is probably my favorite part of this song as well. As much as I really like this song and I like this record as well. Came out 2 years ago, but that outro is fucking sick.
Yeah, like it woke me up. Like, I mean, I was like, grooving to the lyrics and the chorus and all of that, because I mean, the last like minute is just the chorus being repeated over and over and over and over. And then it goes to that instrumental and it like knocks you out of whatever trance you were in. Like,
which,
wow.
So let's circle back on that idea, the whole trance thing. So the lyrics of this song is based off the 1992 horror film Candyman. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
Okay, so I love how you use that, because there's a scene in that movie where a character kind of like gets into a trance. And I like how you kind of circle back to that. So why not start off Horror Month with a song that is all about a 1992 horror classic,
Yeah, and apparently they wait. So the Candyman originated from Clive Barker.
It's a story, yeah. It's a short story called The Forbidden.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, another harken to an older episode, Gutter.
Yeah. He keeps on coming back.
Clive Barker's fucking great, man. I will stand by Books of Blood. Books of Blood is really good. And I like Candyman. I like Candyman and Hellraiser a lot. But yeah, so Clipping is a experimental hip hop trio consisting of David Diggs, who is the vocalist, and then William Hudson and Jonathan Snipes, who are the producers.
Okay.
Kind of interesting fact, David Diggs is actually in the show Hamilton, in the musical Hamilton.
Is he really?
He plays Marquis de Lafayette / Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, he's like...
I haven't seen it, but...
He's really talented.
That's like the main character, right?
He's one of them, yeah. He's one of the main characters in the musical.
I guess Hamilton would be the main character.
Hamilton is the main character. Good musical though. I saw that when I went to New York back in January. It was fucking sick.
Is it really?
It was very good.
That's one of those things where like it reached such a peak to where I think I got annoyed by Hamilton heads so hard that I was like, I'm okay.
Yeah, no, it's they ran it into the fucking ground. Like a lot of things.
There was a coworker I had once that would play that for everyone.
But yeah, so Clipping, experimental hip hop trio, started in 2009, signed to Sub Pop in I think 2013, 2014, released their studio debut, Clipping. It's a self-titled record. In 2019 and 2020, they released two records back to back. There existed an Addiction to Blood and Visions of Bodies Being Burned. The latter of the two is the second track, or the latter of the two has the song Say the Name. So
yeah,
in their first two records, they're self-titled and Splendor and Misery. They kind of keep with the hip hop or the experimental hip hop, industrial hip hop kind of thing. In There Existed an Addiction to Blood and Visions of Bodies Being Burned, they start exploring more into horrorcore. And horrorcore is a subgenre of hip hop that it contains violent lyrics. It references a lot of slasher films, a lot of horror films. One of the bands that really kind of pushed that to the forefront, they weren't the first rap group to do this, but they were one that really kind of pushed it more to the mainstream, was the Ghetto Boys with their debut album Making Trouble. And funny enough, the lyric Candlesticks in the Dark, Visions of Bodies Being Burned, which was repeated all through this song, is from the song it's from the song My Mind is Playing Tricks on Me by the Ghetto Boys. It's David Diggs, it's his voice pitched down.
Wow.
So horrorcore is really interesting. Tyler, the Creator, kind of explores that in the early stuff like Bastard and Goblin. Denzel Curry kind of does a little bit of it, and I think more of like the Taboo era. What's up?
Yeah, that's probably what I know the most is Denzel Curry.
Yeah. He explores a lot of that in Taboo because he references the Stephen King property It, because I mean there's a song called Black Balloons and he has like clown makeup on their album cover. But yeah, Clipping is kind of one of those groups that really kind of dove into that horrorcore type deal, especially with these last two records. There's a song off of Visions of Bodies Being Burned called 96 Nev Campbell, and it's all about Scream, and it's really fucking good. It's a really fucking good track. That was the other one I almost brought to the table, but I was like,
yeah,
we'll just say the name.
You could probably do a whole month of horrorcore.
You
listen to it a lot?
Not super often, because it is like very dreary. Like this is like you said, this is an easy listen. It's very violent.
Right.
It's a very violent song. I mean, granted, if you know the story of Candyman, it's also like that's also really violent as well. So
this is more so for people like the person that listens to this all the time also keeps like Halloween decorations up year round.
And their office has like severed head, like fake severed heads, or like Michael Myers mask, like sitting on like a mannequin. Yeah. Right. That kind of
the
people.
Horror heads.
Yeah. But it's great. I actually think I think this record, Visions of Bodies Being Burned, is great. I think it's a really good record.
You know, I probably would be all about that. Like, and definitely not trying to be anti-horror people, but I would, if only it weren't for like me getting nightmares if my office was covered with severed heads. Dude, I'd probably
feel that.
Dream bad dreams.
Be like all like waking up and freaking the fuck out.
Right.
I'd be afraid like they start walking or some shit. And I love horror movies. I love horror properties. I think they're just fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I think out of all the movie posters I own, I think the most I have are horror movies. I think about it. So.
Yeah, you're probably right. I can't say the same for me.
You have a lot of RoboCop.
I think mine is robot oriented and some sci-fi probably. Bunch of sci-fi and Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, this song is kind of like it's just a trip. It's a very dark, brooding song. Honestly, there's really not much to talk about, I think, lyrically, because it's basically just about Candyman. Which
I have a pick, and it's before I knew about the candle. It's before I knew about the Candyman association, so it's kind of interesting.
Okay.
I don't want to, is there anything else you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the lyrics a little bit first?
I mean, I don't really have much to say about the lyrics just because it's very violent, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty aggressive.
Yeah. It's like
if we read this, we're gonna sound like Ben Shapiro reading WAP.
I'm gonna put that video in here. I'm gonna edit that in there now that you brought that up.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. Hold up. I said certified freak 7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pull-out game weak.
Oh.
I mean, so you want to talk about Candyman? Do you want to?
I mean, I haven't really seen it, so I don't really know what I could add to that discussion.
I guess it's true. It'd be me rehashing the plot.
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. We got it. It's a Clive Barker thing. That's cool.
And Tony Todd, he's 6'5". He's got bees all over him and a hook hand. He's fucking scary in that movie.
That's the thing about Candyman that is the main reason that kept me away, is the bee imagery, in the mouth and all that kind of stuff kept me away.
Yeah, what's really funny
freaks me out.
What's really funny about that movie is he made a deal with whoever the studio was that for every bee sting, he got $1,000, and I think he got stung 23 times. I think is what he said.
I would make that same kind of thing. That's scary, man.
Dude, there's some scenes in that movie where he's it's uncomfortable. He is uncomfortable to look at. So I would recommend it. I think it's really cool, and I think the social commentary.
It's great.
Yeah, the social commentary is really good as well, and it's fun.
Did Clive Barker direct the first one?
I don't think he had any tie to it. I think it was Bernard Rose who did it. So you know how with Hellraiser, I don't know if we went over it.
Yeah, Bernard Rose, based on
Clive Barker directed and wrote Hellraiser.
Right.
I don't think Clive Barker had anything to do with Candyman, aside from it being his story, The Forbidden, which is a good story. It's a very good short story. About an urban legend that's terrorizing a project in Chicago, or a public housing development in Chicago, which is what the movie's based on too. And it's good. It's very good. It's kind of scary, like, you know, because you know the idea of like you say his name, I think it's 5 times, and he'll like he'll appear.
It's kind of the Bloody Mary type.
But he'll like gut you with this hook. It's fucking creepy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Good
Tony
movie.
Todd has a great voice.
He's gonna be Venom in the new Spider-Man game. I can't fucking wait, bro. He's gonna be so good. He's the fucking man.
Makes me wish I had a PlayStation.
Dude, he's really good in Final Destination. I don't know if you ever watched those. Like, he's kind of a minor character in that, but he's essentially Death. He's
Oh yeah, he is in those.
He's the mortuary guy. Yeah.
It's been a minute. Yeah.
Dude, I will never drive behind a truck that's carrying logs. Ever since I saw the second one, bro.
Same.
Dude, there was one time we were driving on a vacation and like we were like getting near one of those trucks and my dad wouldn't get behind it. He was like, He's like, we're getting around this thing.
Those freaking movies, man, messed me up in the weirdest way because now like I see everything as a potential.
What I really like about, I've only seen the first 2. I never saw 3 or 4. What I really like about the first 2 is there's the kills are really creative.
Yeah,
and it's really
fun. That's what carries the movie throughout.
For sure,
I think I've seen all of them.
Are the other ones any good? I like the first 2. Like genuinely, I really like the first 2.
The last time we watched them, because this was a series that I think Lauren had in like high school.
Oh wow, Lauren's a fan. I did not know that.
Dude, and when we were younger, she was super into horror movies, like hardcore.
Like what?
She had a lot of horror movies, yeah. And then all of a sudden something switched, and now she doesn't like really care for them anymore. She
doesn't give a shit.
It's crazy. But yeah, the only times I've seen these is when we've watched like more than one in a row, so they all blend together for me.
Because I know the third one, I think it's the big one is a roller coaster, right? The big accident's a roller coaster. Breaks, right? And then I don't know about 4.
Yeah, maybe.
There might be a 5th one. I'm not sure.
The first is the plane, and the second is the big crash.
Yep. That's like all.
I think a plane comes back at some point.
Dude, I'll never forget in the second one where that log just goes right through that dude's car.
Oh,
that makes me so uncomfortable. Like I can't.
Yeah, the first 2 are definitely, I think, the better ones.
I agree. I totally agree.
But it's been a while.
So do you have a pick? You said you have a pick?
Yeah. Okay. So
I have a pick as well, man. I'm ready.
This is kind of a funny one because it came to me very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we picked this one before, but it's possible.
You better hope not.
If it is, I'm going to be really sad.
Check the sheet.
No.
Cool.
Ha.
You were worried.
I was worried for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because I talk about this a lot. The movie I picked is one of my favorite movies ever. It is
RoboCop.
A movie that but so as I was listening to this song, you know, candlesticks in the dark, visions of bodies being burned. That's being repeated, hypnotizing you with this just violent imagery. And the music is like industrial and like clangy and like just heavy. So that just kind of reminded me kind of the theme of this song, and then the words that are being said kind of remind me of the future that this movie sets into place. And of course, I'm talking about the 1984 James Cameron classic, The Terminator. My pick. Yeah. I watched this actually last night.
Dude, doesn't it hold up?
Yeah, it's great.
Arnold's kind of scary. Like low key.
I love this movie because it's like it's hindered by a budget.
Mm-hmm.
Like after this, James Cameron like has so much money. I mean, I know he always has financial like he always needs more money, but this movie, like, they had to be scrappy, and I appreciate that so much out of this one. And it's just grimy and dirty. So let's watch the trailer real quick.
Ready.
3, 2, 1.
Orion Pictures. Look at how good that logo looked.
Yeah. They just changed it. Did you know that?
Yeah. It's not as good.
A weapon.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
No other. This weapon will be powerful, versatile.
All the miniature work, man.
It's a good movie.
It can't be reasoned with. It can't be bargained with. It will feel no pity, no remorse, no pain, no fear. It will have only
Yeah, the futuristic war scenes are like super intense.
to the present and
Yeah.
prevent the future.
And that's what this song reminded me of, is like the visions of the future that they have in these movies.
You're dead, honey.
And everything's just so grim.
Yeah.
What day is it?
And the score has that clanging.
Yeah.
Thursday. What year?
Dude, that police, where he's like just killing everybody in the police jail or whatever, is fucking it's fucking scary, bro.
Yeah.
I'm here to help you. I'm Reese. DN 38416. Assigned to protect you.
Yeah, he's a scary. I mean, he's a movie monster in this one.
Oh, yeah.
After this, it kind of changes. But
Right, no, him as a movie monster is legit scary.
Why does it want me? Why me?
Tech noir, baby.
have I shown you that deep fake
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, with Rocky?
of this?
Or has Sylvester Stallone, right?
The Terminator.
With William Dafoe.
Yeah, okay, I think you have.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a... Stan Winston, man.
Yeah, great movie.
He's the
I love
best.
that movie so much.
It's a great movie. I have nothing to say about it.
Yeah, I love it because it's grimy and dirty and just
Like the song.
yeah, it fits the song a lot in my opinion, just because of those things. And
You nailed the tone down really well, I think.
yeah,
'Cause
the lyrics might not match up perfectly, but you know, it feels like even the verses and the, you know, just all the lyrics kind of, if you kind of squint a little bit, you can imagine it's talking about the future that the Terminator talks about. Like coat rack for man's skin, let it air dry, Swiss cheese to brother already half dead, brain leaking out of hole in his forehead.
Love that line. The hook gonna be the coldest pimp slap. Like, that is a gnarly line.
Yeah.
It's badass.
And Kyle Reese does get pimp slapped by the Terminator at one point.
I guess so.
Well, when it's like a machine, he gets hit by it.
When it's the
It's like,
exoskeleton
that's gotta
or
be pretty
whatever.
cold. Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Yeah,
man.
I watched this last night for yesterday was Judgment Day, August 29th. And so I was like, I'm going to watch The Terminator. And so I did, and it's great. It has some flaws. It's aged a little bit, but I don't care because I still consider it just an amazing movie.
Yeah.
And it shows what can be accomplished if you have the right kind of talent. It doesn't, you know.
Those flaws do not hinder it at all in that movie.
No.
Not even close. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the soundtrack that do. I'm like, I'm not a huge fan of that. Which I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't like it, but it doesn't bug me, you know?
Yeah.
Because Arnold's
T2 definitely improved it.
easily. The dun 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 dun. Like, that shit's fucking sick. Or the
But it's a bigger movie. The budget was
yeah.
like 20 times higher.
They backed up the Brinks truck for him. Well, I mean, shit.
Yeah.
After Terminator, was it what? Was The Abyss afterwards? Can't remember his filmography in chronological order. But this is gonna be kind of. I'm curious what you're gonna think about this thought. But I think out of all of Arnold's acting performances, I think this is my favorite of his. Because every time he is on screen, he is physically imposing and he is terrifying.
Yeah.
Granted, he doesn't have a lot of talking lines in the movie because he's like an android or a robot. He doesn't need to talk. But his physical acting is like top tier with like the silent era. Like, it's so good. And the way he like uses space and like the way he like maneuvers through space or just like on screen is so imposing that you're like genuinely scared. Like I'm genuinely scared when I see him walk.
Yeah.
Like when he's going through the police HQ and he's just blowing up everybody. Like that shit's freaky.
Yeah.
I think it's so good.
It's incredible what they were able to do with what they had. I mean, they had a budget, but it was $6.4 million in 1983, which adjusted for inflation is about 19 million today.
Okay.
And you know, that's still not a lot for a movie when you consider
not of this caliber. Like of the scope of this movie is huge.
Like, let's say if for those that are uninformed about box office stuff, you know, big movies like big Marvel movies, let's say Doctor Strange, the Doctor Strange 2 budget was 200 million.
So basically, they had 1/10 of what they had, little under 1/10.
Yeah. What's a good okay?
Take Top Gun Maverick.
Have you seen? Well, Top Gun Maverick. I'm thinking of like a lowish budget streaming movie.
Oh, Prey.
Prey. I mean, that's still pretty high budget.
Is it? What is the budget on that one?
Prey budget was 65 million.
Okay.
So a movie that I think that was originally supposed to go to theaters, but then when Disney bought it, they pushed it onto streaming to get Hulu subscribers.
Gotcha.
So, but anyway, yeah, like Prey is a relatively smaller movie, and it was triple the budget of the first Terminator. Like when you want to get down to like what even compares, let's see, 20 million budget movies. I don't even know if that's a good.
God, and also the trio of Arnold, Linda Hamilton, and Michael Biehn is so fucking
good. Michael Biehn is amazing.
He is
in it.
I love him as Kyle Reese. He's so good as Corporal Hicks. Like he's just a great actor.
Yeah. And he's a good hero that, you know, physically doesn't stand a chance when you compare him to the size.
Right. It's like a David and Goliath story, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's also a really good villain or a good secondary villain in Tombstone. Like, Michael Bihn's awesome. We stand Michael Biehn up in here.
When I was watching it yesterday, I intended to take notes because I'm trying to go through all the movies that I really like and take notes on why I like them so I can further understand that. And I just can't with the Terminator because I always get sucked in.
It's so good. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's scary when it needs to be scary. You feel the desperation when it just feels like this machine will not stop. No matter what I do, it is not going to stop.
It won't stop. It's not going to stop.
Yeah, and it's essentially a chase movie, a love story all rolled into one, and
they're being chased by a slasher
for them. Yeah, it's a slasher movie. Yeah. It really is, and the slasher is killing everyone he can find with
the name Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah. I'm looking for Sarah Connor. Pop.
And it's a dude, like, you got the tech noir scene.
The tech noir scene's fucking violent, bro. It's so good. And like, man, it's one of those franchises where it's like, man, the first two are perfect, and then the rest are just like, man, what happened? You know?
I will defend up to a point 3. I think 3 has a lot of good parts. I'd probably rank it.
I don't remember 3. I've seen it a couple times and it was, I don't know. I don't remember much from it.
I have a hard time putting 1 and 2 above each other, but there's 1 and 2 at the top.
Obviously.
And then I'd go 3, Dark Fate.
Never saw that.
Salvation.
That Salvation was all right.
Genesis.
The one thing I like about Salvation is I like the design of like the other robots and stuff, like the motorcycle and the giant like prison robot that like carried people. I liked the production.
They tried to do something, yeah.
They did. I'll give them that. I think they tried. I don't remember 3 at all. I love to.
Stan Winston did, or at least his company did, all the effects up to Salvation, I think. I'm not sure if they did anything else after that, but I know there are like designs of the T600s, like the rubber infiltrators that they made that didn't make its way on the screen in the same way, but the original concepts were scary, dude. They looked like walking Frankensteins. Like, it was freaky.
Dude, I mean, you can't go wrong with Terminator 1. And honestly, like, the CGI effects in Terminator 2 still hold up, like, really well.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Very, very
when you
well.
know when you know the limitations of your technology, you can go very far.
Well, that and a lot of it, like, there was practical, like, mixed in. That's why I think a lot of people always default to 1993's Jurassic Park as, like, being an example of great CGI. It is good CGI. I'm still going to stand by that. But they were mixed in with puppets and animatronics.
Yeah.
So it made it seamless. It wasn't just all relied on CGI. I think that's one of the reasons I'm not a fan of this back half trilogy, is because there's, like, virtually not many animatronics.
Yeah.
So I was not a fan of Dominion. I was not a fan of Dominion.
Oh, of Jurassic Parks. Yeah. You didn't like Dominion? Wait, which one was Dominion?
It was the last one.
That was the last one?
Yeah.
I thought it was fine. I liked Dominion. I hated the middle one.
Dude, the middle one was bad. Dominion was better than Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
But man.
Yeah. Dominion, I got what I wanted out of it. I think that's how I'm going to put it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a great movie, but I got what I wanted. So
I just think, like, I don't like Chris Pratt. I think that's really where my issue stems.
Oh yeah, he's miscast in that, I think.
He's miscast in, like, everything except for Parks and Rec.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's where
he just doesn't. Someone put him, like, someone said that his aim in these Jurassic World movies is to be a Kurt Russell type.
He's not that guy.
Like, if you had young Kurt Russell in this movie, it would be like, okay, like replace Chris Pratt with young, 80s Kurt Russell, and
you win. You just win.
Yeah, it just doesn't work with Pratt. Like, you need somebody else with a little bit more personality, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. Just not a fan.
No offense to the man, but
or offense.
I just don't think it works.
I don't really care. I don't really care either way. Get fat. Hey, you were funnier when you were fat. That's where I'm at. I'll cut.
If we ever get famous people on our show,
I'll let them know. I'll be like, hey man, you were funnier when you were fat. Like,
also, he's in the Schwarzenegger family now, so
is he really?
Yeah, he's married to Catherine.
Oh, I didn't know that. Might have to cut this out then. I like the choice though, because I think with this song, Say the Name, it's very dark, it's very brooding, it's very intense, which I don't think I know the Terminator encapsulates all of those really well. I really like this pick, and I really like this movie, so I love it. Good choice, man.
Thanks, man. I'm excited to hear what you have, though.
I'm curious if you've seen this movie.
I hope I have.
I don't know if you have. I'll be shocked if you have. So, well, obviously we can't choose Candyman as the choice. Right. Like, obviously that would just be cheating.
Right.
But there's a couple lines in this movie. Rephrase. There's a couple lines in this song. One specifically, till 9 months later, with a stomach full of devil baby, she's starting to think it's time to pump the brakes. That was two lines that stuck out, that was two lines that stuck out to me, because in this movie, this psychological horror film directed by Roman Polanski.
Knew it was coming. Knew it.
You know exactly what movie I'm going with.
I haven't seen it, but I
know. No. The movie I am choosing is Rosemary's Baby, and I'm gonna send the trailer over. This movie is something else. I gotta phrase that
better. Ready when
you
are.
You ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hey, let's make love.
What fucking trailer is
interesting, this? Yeah, interesting beginning to a trailer. Trailers back in the day, though, like they didn't follow a formula as much, I don't think.
They really didn't. I don't know how I feel about this trailer, dude. But okay, I think this is a good representation of how the movie is, because the whole movie, the whole time, it's unsettling.
Right.
It's very unsettling.
I mean, I'm into it. I'm interested in seeing what this is about.
Well, there's the famous movie poster with her superimposed over the baby carriage on the mountain. A lot of good names, especially for like old Hollywood.
Oh yeah. Pray for Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, this movie's always been in like the cultural lexicon, and people talk about it so much that I just never even sought it out.
I mean, also, it's been talked about forever. There's a reason why.
Yeah.
It was way ahead of its time in terms of like horror and like just being a psychological horror film. Probably one of the first to really do it.
Just because the subject matter, I've been hesitant to seek it out, mainly because David Lynch's Eraserhead just fucked me up so hard that like that's another. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's a movie that I don't know if Rosemary's Baby kind of deals with the same kind of themes or not, but in Eraserhead they have that baby, and it's just like
it's gross.
Yeah, it's gross, and I'm never gonna watch that movie again. I did not have a good time watching that movie. I see why like everybody loves it, but I no, not for me.
This movie it's like gaslighting the movie. It's
okay.
I will say it's not an easy watch. There's a lot
of gaslighting. The term came from a movie called Gaslight.
Did it really?
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
You saying Gaslight the movie made me laugh.
Oh, that's really funny. The more you know. Yeah, because it's about Mia Farrow plays Rosemary, the titular character, who gets pregnant. She gets pregnant living with her husband, played by John Cassavetes, great actor. And she starts to suspect that her elderly neighbors next door are part of a satanic cult. So she's trying to convince her husband that like, hey, that something's not right. He doesn't believe her. And I don't want to give a lot away, just because I think if you do watch it ever, there's some, it's not a feel good movie though. It's a movie I've only seen twice, and both times I left feeling just not good. Like it just felt like really kind of not empty inside, but I'm just kind of like,
like you wouldn't seek it out again, kind of thing.
It's not like one of those horror films that I like would turn back to, just because it makes me so uncomfortable. But I think that to give credit where credit is, deserved, Polanski, as horrible of a human being as he is, I want to, get that out there. He is a terrible human being.
Yeah.
And it's a shame he has not been brought to justice yet. He does a really good job of creating fear and tension, and even you as an audience member second guess things. Because there's certain events that happen that are with a hazy overlay and stuff. So do you think it actually happened? What do you second guess yourself. He does a really good job of conveying those emotions and conveying that, I guess, those twists and turns. And
I mean, even the trailer was pretty artsy is the wrong word, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Artsy.
It's a mind fuck. And I mean, like, this movie's not like, it's not like a deep thinking kind of movie in a way, but I think I don't know, it's just really freaky.
Yeah. I mean, it sits on its pedestal for a reason. Like, it was put there for a reason.
There's a reason people consider it one of the better, if not one of the best horror movies, like, of all time. You know, it was up there with, like, The Exorcist in a way that, like, paved horror movies. So it's important. But, like, man, movies about the occult really freak me out. Like,
yeah.
I'm not, like, you know me, I'm not really a religious guy. I don't know if I'm gonna, like, relay this out, but movies like The Exorcist and The Omen, like, genuinely fear me. Like, they scare me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know why. Like, it just,
I think it's because I know exactly where you're coming from. I think it's because the big, like, you know, uncertainty of everything. Like, for example, you know that without a doubt there are not, you know, there's not a creature from the Black Lagoon coming after you or something, you know. But I think with, like, demon shit, it's like
possession and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like I'm not really sure on what's going on here, and you know, and I think that kind of gray, like,
that gray line,
unexplainable events type things. It's like, well, I can't really think of a good way, you know,
that makes
to
sense.
debunk it.
I like your explanation, because that shit just freaks me out. I don't know why. It just does not sit well with me. But I think this movie's I think it's really good, and I think it's really well done. It's not one I go back to often because it makes me so uncomfortable.
Right.
But that's what the movie sets out to be. It's not like Terminator where you can turn it back on and be cool with it. Like, this is like, I don't know, like, this, you feel,
it's heavier.
It's very heavy, and you feel for Mia Farrow's character, Rosemary, because she's pregnant and, like, all this crazy shit's happening, and she's afraid these people are going to take her baby.
Yeah.
And it's disturbing. It's very, very disturbing. So Rosemary Baby is my choice. Yeah. And like I said, lyrically, it doesn't really follow Say the Name. Just because Say the Name is literally about Candyman. But there are lines in that movie, like the one I mentioned earlier right before. I also felt like I needed to pick a horror movie as my choice for horror month for our horror crusade.
Yeah.
You picked a
kind of felt the same way too, but Terminator kind of fits.
That's a slasher movie.
Yeah,
I'd say so. Okay. I'd argue it, bro.
I didn't really talk about what Terminator is about, but I guess everybody knows. It's about a Terminator comes back from the future
to kill Sarah Connor because her son John Connor is the one that's going to stop Skynet in the future.
Yeah, and the Protector is sent back, Kyle Reese, to protect her. So. Super simple,
but it's great.
Yeah, man. This was a good episode. I think we
kicked it off.
We got
pretty well.
Kicked horror month off with a couple horror movies
and a very grotesque horrorcore song.
Yeah, so if that doesn't check off the boxes,
nothing will.
Yeah, I don't really know what's better than that. So yeah, cool.
I'm excited to see what you bring next week, man, or whenever we record.
I don't know what I'm going to bring next week, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. This month will be an interesting month because I'm going to have to expand out my comfort zone a little bit.
I already have my second week picked.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to just sit down and, like, think about it, I think.
You'll be fine. You'll figure it out. I ain't worried about you.
This is exciting, though.
This is fun. October's a good month. I need to... Well, granted, it's not really here yet. We're not even in September when we're recording this. But I'm going to be watching some horror movies, bro. I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm in September, which is Schwarzember. That's what I'm calling it. I'm just revisiting a ton of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
True Lies? Are you going to revisit True Lies?
Yeah, I think I will. I have the DVDs, so I'll probably pop that one in. I've already watched Eraser, The Terminator, and Twins. So
that's with Danny DeVito. I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's fun. It's fun.
heard it's really bad.
I think it's fine.
Okay.
I rated it at 3 stars. So like
out of 5?
Not my favorite. Yeah. So not my favorite ever, but
that's not bad.
It's fun. It's fun. If you like Danny DeVito and you like Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's like
I like both of them.
That's Junior is the one that's a lot more
not good.
Weird. No. Arnold Schwarzenegger gets pregnant and has a child. So it's a comedy about that.
But
yeah, it's weird. And Danny DeVito's his doctor or something. I can't remember. It's been a while. So I'm going through all the Arnold movies and gonna do a rating or something or a list like my favorite up top or something. I don't know.
It's gonna be Commando, Terminator, and Terminator 2 at the top.
Predator might be
and then Conan. Conan as well.
Yeah, Conan. See, there's a lot of good ones, and that's the
Last Action
Hero
part. Is really good.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Eraser Man was so much better than I remembered it to even be. Like I grew up with that movie. Mm-hmm. It's on Netflix. You should check it out. It is fun.
It's fun. Okay.
Like James Caan is the bad guy. Like
R.I.P. Real one.
And he will go out of his way to say amazing lines. So just
check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out, brother.
It's fun. Also, Vanessa Williams is in it. But yeah. All right, man. Let's close out this episode.
Good at, brother. No.
See ya.
Yeah. Bye.
Next week. I don't know.
Something horror. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter at Sound Crusaders, and also follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Soundscape Crusaders. Until next time.